These are our one-bedroom cottages that we built a couple years ago. Call them our painted babies, kind of like the painted ladies in San Francisco where they're on a steep hill. They are one bedroom, about 520 square feet. They are 28 feet deep by 20 feet wide. We actually had plans to do them 32 feet deep, but what happened was we had to give up utility easement for the electrical, so we had to give about 5 feet up for that, so we shrunk them down to 28 feet. We didn't want the power lines going overhead, so we dug them underground here, but that meant we had to lose, I don't remember if it was 5 or 10 feet for the right-of-way. We are right across the street from the Senior Activity Center and the park, so we want to make these available for people who might be in a wheelchair or at least mobility impaired, so we try to do kind of low entry. So we did a roll-in shower, and it's just a really nice, small, compact space. The people who are in them seem to really love them. This was a challenge. The lot was 50 feet deep by 150 feet wide on a corner. First, when we got the property, what we did was we rezoned it so we could do it a little more densely than what else was around. And then we did some lot splits. Well, when you do a lot split, you have to give up right away to the city. This may not be everywhere, but the city has a master plan for their streets. And so typically they may ask you, if you're going to do a lot split, that you give up some of your property so that they can have more right of way, so that they can add sidewalks later or widen the street or things like that. So we had to give up about 10 feet on one side and 10 feet on the other, and then we had to give up the additional 5 feet for the utility easement. We were down to about 140 feet by 50, and we had to take away 15. So we were left with 35 feet deep that we could work with. We have 5 feet at the back of a setback, so that essentially gave us 30 feet deep that we had to work with. We have overhangs that are about a foot on each side. In some places you can't have overhangs into the setbacks. With our zoning, we had to do it a little bit unique. We couldn't just have 4 individual lots, because even though we rezoned it, our lot size wasn't big enough for 4, but our zoning allowed us to do townhouses which had smaller lot areas, and so we actually built these as 2 sets of townhouses, and we made them connected by a little bit. That allowed it to be individual townhouses which could have a smaller lot size than if you do a single family. So what that also meant was that we had to get a number of variances and a couple conditional use permits. One little cottage here, one little cottage here, and then you got the connector in between, a little storage shed with a hot water heater on one side, and then another little storage shed on the other side, and they're connected by a 2-hour firewall. And just about every week we get someone asking if we're going to build more cottages, because people are just really, really loving the size and the price point, and the layout works really well too.